All right, we welcome you in. Look, man, a lot happening over the weekend, depending on what you were watching. History made in the PGA. I don't know if there was any history made on Saturday with 10 games played, although everybody's jacked up about Justin Fields now. Yeah. It's amazing, right? Where Jalen Hurts just can't win.
No, and he just threw 2 picks at practice, I understand.
Oh, well, maybe he can't. Exactly. Maybe I was thinking of something completely different when I was thinking of that, and you just reinforced it. So let's not bury the lead today.
Right.
Jalen Hurts in practice, following the praise that he got from Nick Sirianni, threw what, 2 picks?
Yeah, he apparently threw 2 picks. Of course, they've got the joint practices going today and really all week leading up to the game on Thursday night with New England. And Judon, who the Patriots picked up from Baltimore in the offseason, made a pick, and then he threw another one to someone else. I forget who. But it was football this weekend. There was history actually made in baseball, apparently, on Saturday night with the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are the next team for the Philadelphia Phillies, as they now go on the road after dropping the series to the Reds. This Tyler Gilbert, apparently in his first start, had a no-hitter against the Padres on Saturday night. And the Arizona Diamondbacks actually took 3 of 4 in that series. It wasn't until Tatis made his big return yesterday where he hit 2 bombs that the Padres actually won. So some history there.
But now he was the 4th guy, right? I think in the history of the game to do this. And you had a couple of great baseball names of guys who have also accomplished this feat.
Right.
Not to be outdone, by the way, how about the first time we had, a 5? Correct me if I'm wrong. Golfer playoff. 6, pardon me.
It was 6, yeah.
6. That's the first time ever.
I think so. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like you were at a member guest and all 6 flights had their groups out on the same hole. It was madness. And Kevin Kisner ends up with the win.
Amazing.
I had Adam Scott, and he had a chance to win it and missed like a 4-foot, 5-foot putt, whatever it was, to win it outright. But he did cash a bet for me. But yeah, a big weekend in golf. You had the U.S. Amateur, which was completed out at Oakmont. Boy, take a look at that golf course. That golf course is unbelievable.
No, I played with a guy on Sunday morning at my spot, and he was mentioning about how the amateur was on. He was going to go home, watch it, and Oakmont. He was raving about the course. So
unbelievable.
Yeah. Man.
One of the hardest, might be the hardest place in the world
to play, right?
Yeah, some say that. So I got to take their word for it.
So I was riding such a hot streak in baseball until yesterday, where losses for me outside of the one Philly, Matt Moore. This is how hot I was, Harry, that Matt Moore was my lone loss, not push, because I voided a couple of tickets over the last 3 days with just, laying one or buying one and then pushing. But that's what I'm saying is the only loss I had in 3 days was fading Matt Moore of all people. Right.
And who would have thought that he's out of the 3 pitchers that the Phillies had going against the Reds, Wheeler, Moore, and Nola, Moore would be the guy who gets the win.
Amazing.
And a decisive win. I mean, it wasn't even close.
No, and then yesterday, I think that's what it is I got my teeth kicked in, went 0-3. Had to live bet the hell out of stuff. But yeah, I mean, Matt Moore.
So you were chasing yesterday. Is that right? You were live chasing.
I actually had a positive ROI yesterday because of the 2 live bets. Now, one I saw PGF put up as far as a live bet, and it moved up a little bit, like a half a run. So I thought, you know what? Let me jump on this. And the other was the Miami-Chicago game that was 7.5. And that got a little tight. But yes, I did something you never should do. Chase. But I look, the crazy thing for me over the weekend was how Jalen Hurts not only has a good game in that limited action we saw, but also the day after, I think it was Saturday, right? Saturday. Nick Sirianni comes out and says that Hurts looked better than even he thought once he looked at the film, right?
Once he went back and looked at the film, the quarterback played even better.
Now, think about this. What happens after that? Saturday, we see Justin Fields come out and have himself, second quarter and third quarter, right? Now, Trey Lance got a lot of love and stuff. This dude's hitting wide open guys.
Yeah.
The fifth-string cornerbacks are falling down. But
Lance was 5 of 14 and got sacked 4 times.
The second part of Trey Lance was way worse than the good part was for the beginning of it. But anyway, point being is that Justin Fields has himself a preseason game. And what happens? You see Eagles Twitter populating with, I told you they should have taken Justin Fields in the
He was there. He could have been taken. I know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He looked pretty poised.
Yeah.
I mean, his numbers, what he was 14 of 20, 142 yards, a touchdown, carried the ball 5 times for 33 yards and with a touchdown and a fumble.
Right.
So his rating was 106.7, whatever that means.
Yeah. That I don't know.
But he played overall the best of all the young guys.
Barrett, all right, now we're back to normal. All right, welcome in. Now we're joined by the network. Sorry, Ron, I was on the brick there, but that's my fault. Should have been on this one in the first place. So we are now a week into the NFL preseason. All of the overreactions are here, man. Right? What's the biggest? Let's look at this. And we can count ours if you want to, but I'm just curious. Over a week now, or I guess like a weekend's worth, I don't count the Hall of Fame travesty, but what is the biggest overreaction that's come from the first round of games in the preseason?
The biggest overreaction in the league. Well, everybody's going gaga over Justin Fields for his performance against the Dolphins, and rightly so. He played as better than any of the new young quarterbacks. I mean, Mack Jones looked okay for the Patriots. I went back and watched some of that game against Washington. Trey Lance, people are gaga about one of the throws that he made, but he was 5 of 14 and got sacked 4 times. I mean, that's not the greatest beginning. Trevor Lawrence, had some flashes, but he had a fumble, a couple of sacks, made 1 or 2 nice throws. Zach Wilson had some limited action, looked okay.
Not much, right?
Not much. I think he was like 6 for 9 for 60 some odd yards. Not a big performance, but it's positive. Jordan Love even played quite a bit, and then he ended up getting hurt. Yeah, he hurt his shoulder, but he played pretty good for the Pack.
And that's the thing is we know he's not going to play at all this year.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we saw some pretty big ones, like some pretty obvious ones that I think that you laid out as well. What about the Saints, right? I mean, Taysom Hill, there's no way this guy can play the quarterback position, right?
No, not a starting, not permanent. No, it's a spot, sort of a gimmick type of deal. That's all he is.
And Winston was not great. Right?
No, he was not.
Ooh, and then we also had this kid who broke this ridiculous run at the end of the Patriots preseason game.
Oh yeah, they're running back they drafted out of Oklahoma,
right?
Yeah, it was 90 some odd yard run for a touchdown.
Right, which is a total outlier because they knelt twice and had to then run the ball out because they were calling timeout. So now, because the Patriots running back is always going to be by committee, nobody knows what's going on. People, let's bump him up. Let's bump him up.
Tough to run fantasy football with Patriot running backs because you never know who's going to get the rock that week.
Impossible.
Isn't it amazing? Like one guy will have like a great week or two, and then you won't see him for 6 weeks.
Right.
It's bizarro.
Seriously. And then the guy comes back and is like the reason why they win the game.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. Like, where's Rex Burkhead? He went somewhere else. I forget where but he's on a squad where a bunch of veterans are ahead of him. Oh, Texas. All right. So he's in Houston. That's right.
Okay.
And, he moved ahead, I think, of Johnson barely. But, you've got 2 guys right there that are veterans ahead of him. And it's just kind of like, oh, yeah, Burkhead's going to be forgotten. But watch. These Patriots guys, they find James White, like that role is never going to die in a Belichick system. I don't
Yeah,
know,
he had a bunch of big games and then would disappear for weeks on end and then come back and have another big game.
right.
Yeah.
Right. That would be another thing where it's just like, oh, what happened to this guy? And oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Now, did you do any DFS lineups?
Baseball and golf. I pretty much won I won like a couple extra bucks over what I put in.
Okay.
So
it was a net positive.
Yeah, net positive on that. There were a couple of tournaments. Let me think. The NFL preseason. I just get my ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. And look, I do a show with a guy. We should bring him on at some point. Where Mack, and this dude is like as deep and inundated in college as you and I know.
College fantasy?
No, college football.
Oh, but I'm saying fantasy college football?
No, not fantasy college football. But what happens is he's so deep. It's like Calabrese, right? A guy who can come on and talk intelligently about the Sun Belt or, the 6-team deep race it might be in Conference USA, whatever. Think about how equipped these guys are for NFL preseason DFS.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at
third and fourth string guys.
Exactly. Who are going to play a lot. Right. Shy Smith yesterday, right? Right. That is SHAI, right? So a guy like that who, the average person wouldn't know. It's Harry be like, yeah, I remember that guy who's a third string wide receiver at LSU.
Yeah.
DeMar Chase in front of him. So you never know if he's going to get the ball. Something like that. Right. No, and
a lot of those guys are good too.
Well, that's the
those
thing.
Guys that rarely see the field at a big school like that. You're like, where'd this guy come from? I never saw him play. Yeah, it's because he had a couple of first rounders in front of him.
Right. I mean, think about the benefit that we have of seeing a guy like PJ Walker.
Yeah.
And also the connection that we knew. And they didn't start Darnold.
No.
I got my
play.
Here's Eytan, Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
So this is week 2 now, the preseason. And I just wonder how much we're going to see. Here's the thing. Are we going to see ones in week 3? Because
that's what I'm thinking.
We are.
I am, because there's like a 17-day window between the last preseason game and the Sunday that most of the teams play for first Sunday. That's a long time.
Right.
Like if you're playing them in week 2 as their week 3 game, like the typical, the most reps the starters get. That's a long time to go from it's actually 20 some odd days, over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Until they play again. That's what's making me think it might be a week 3 where they get not only reps, but they get a lot of reps.
Is there a way, how do you get around that? Because you're right. And by the way, Rob Monty's going to join us at 11:40.
Oh, great.
Yeah. You're right. And that's what I'm curious about is, I don't know, the point you just made, I think holds, right? Where, how do you get around? Whoops. Did you lose me?
No, I just see a different background.
Yeah, I don't know if they changed it in the break. That's weird.
The green screen.
So how do you get around that? Do you play guys 3 quarters into the second preseason game and treat that next game like a bye? But then to your point, you're off
like 3 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, I just think that's too long. I think, maybe you play them twice the amount of reps they got in week 1, and then week 3 is the week where you give them 2 quarters and get them out of there. Because you still have 17 days until the opening Sunday. I mean, it's 2 weeks until Tampa and Dallas open the season.
Right. And then that's a Thursday, not
right.
Then you have to wait a couple of more days.
Right.
So technically, I don't know. Honestly, I think at this point, we have to do something where prepare for a guy to go out there and get hurt in week 3. Not that we want that, but just prepare for it. But I think the reason why I bring this up is because it's inevitable. You're right. There's no way you can go that long, especially, look, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, right? Miles Sanders, even definitely Kenneth Gainwell. These types of guys, young guys that are playing here, McPherson, right? Anybody that is going to see the field this year that's young, right? Like Jason Kelsey doesn't.
They need reps. The young.
What
guys.
about the line? What about the line?
Well, I mean,
you have to start the first string line if Jalen Hurts starts, right?
Yeah, you got to have him in there for a couple series, as long as your starting quarterback's in there. No?
Yes, but for how long? Like, that's why I mean, think about this. If you're Nick Sirianni, do you start your first string offensive line for a series, pull them, but then keep Hurts out there? No,
I wouldn't do that.
I think you're right. Actually, I think you're right. I think they're going to play a quarter. It would make the most sense now if the first stringers played a quarter. So what's that? A series, basically 2 series in the first game, probably a half in the second game, and then
I don't know about a half.
Really?
A quarter. And then a half in the third game.
You want them to play a half in the third game? The starters?
Yes. Yes.
When you want it? Why? Just to build up to something?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. See, this is what I don't understand, though. Are teams going to treat week 3 like normally week 3, or some hybrid of week 3 and week 4? Because even if it's some hybrid of that, Harry, I don't think you get a half. You still need to look at guys who you know are not going to make the team, but just give them a shot. Like, that's what the week 4 is all about. And for so long, while fans and a lot of veterans and people just hated it, teams use it.
Yeah, week 4 was a disaster.
Right.
There's no need for that. It's usually the Jets too, and it's ironic that the Jets are in week 3, which is now your last preseason game again. It's always the Jets and the Eagles.
It's amazing how that works. Every time it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, okay, that's fine. That works. Now, look, who the hell knows what you're going to get from this game anyway? But the only thing that we're going to look at is probably just more playing time, right?
Yeah, more playing time. It's going to be kind of interesting because, Sirianni in his first year as a coach, it's his second preseason game, and here he gets to spend the whole week, on the same field with, arguably the greatest coach in our time. And, there's meetings between the coaching staffs. He's going to be able to glean some stuff from the hoodie. I think that's a positive. That's a good week.
You think the hoodie gives anything to anybody here?
I don't know. He's not going to be. He's not going to be. Hey, look at this. No, but they do have to coordinate together to plan the practice. So he's going to learn some things about how the Patriot way. About how they practice.
I think you're right. My theory on it would be if Belichick didn't like this, then there wouldn't be this.
Right.
But the fact that there is this and he partakes in it makes me believe that he likes it.
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Well, he gets to look at another team for 3 days.
Because think about that, right? Like, he gets to go over to somebody's house and look at all of these treasures in a garage that somebody thought isn't worth crap. And next thing you know, there's a Honus Wagner rookie card.
Right. So, and it's getting sold for $6.6 million.
Exactly right. Just sitting there collecting dust.
Right.
So, yeah, that's all these are for Bill Belichick, just rummage sale.
Yeah, he's rummaged. He's looking at the roster of the Eagles and thinking, I can do something with that cornerback over there. That they're going to release him on the street in about a week.
I tell you, you know what? You're right. It's going to be Tyree Jackson who's going to get released.
He's not going to get released.
No, and then this kid's going to come out there and do some damage up in New England, throwing he'll throw it to himself.
Right.
You don't think he's got to be on the team, right? They already have the 2 tight ends, but what about Dick Rogers?
Richard Rogers?
Yeah, I mean, he's their blocking guy now.
Good veteran. If he gets released, somebody will snatch him up.
Well, wouldn't you rather have Rogers than Jackson? Or
I don't know, man. I think this Jackson kid, that might be my overreaction for the first week of camp.
Okay.
Is with that tight end. But if you had $6.6 million laying around, would you actually buy a stupid baseball card?
Okay, the only way I would buy it would be if I know that
you could flip it for $10 million.
Right. Like, I was in there on that stupid NFT thing on DraftKings trying to get that Brady, and now I'll try to get this Gretzky because I know that there's going to be a market for it.
I don't even understand that stuff.
Think of it. If only 750 people have some sort of signed JPEG of Wayne Gretzky's ugly face, that in itself is going to create demand, right? Because, they're only 700. One of them was...
Well, yeah, there's got to be another 800 Mertides's out there that would want it. Exactly.
Now, minimize that to just one, right? And you have the one in Honus Wagner. So my guess... Now, look, I don't know how much baseball cards are still increasing or if they're dealing with trends or if there's a depreciation for the majority. But let me see this because I just saw the exact number. You said 6.6 million, right?
Is that what it was?
Yes, 6.6 million. 1909 Honus Wagner card. And that's a record, by the way, 6.606. Most ever paid for a sports card. Now, we had 5.2 million for a 52 Mickey Mantle.
All right, I'd rather have the Mickey Mantle.
So only about 60 T206, that's, I guess, the number of it, Honus Wagner cards exist, and only 4 carry a grade of 3 or higher, the buyer's an East Coast collector. All right. So, look, if he has one of 4 Honus Wagner cards, you would think that you could flip that, right?
You would think, yeah.
So, I don't know.
What's a nice profit?
Here's the thing, though. This might be one of these, bet 3 units to win 1 unit thing. Like maybe you spend $6 million to flip it for $7.5 million, but that's the only way you're going to add $1.5 million to your bankroll here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know with auction as well how much that would drive up cost. I imagine auction is a big part of it, right?
You would think, yeah. Creating a market and a demand. It's like anything else. It's like putting your house up for sale right now and maybe pricing it just a little bit under what you think you can get for, just so people come in and try to bid it up past what you really think you should get it for.
That's a great point. And I think,
that.
So if you have that element on top of this card's just being so unique, 4 carry a grade of 3 or higher, then I think it's a no-brainer, right?
Wow, play action reel on the stream. This is phenomenal. This is not only getting the show, but just going next level. Honus Wagner, right?
Right.
He goes, not Porter Wagner. Now, do you know who Porter Wagner is?
I do not. I know who Robert Wagner is from Adam's Exploits, but
he's an actor. He was an actor, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Was that the guy would put the battery on his shoulders and I dare you to knock this off in the commercials?
Robert Wagner?
Was that him? I think it was. Was it a Duracell battery or something? But anyway, Porter Wagner, I think, was a country music guy. And I think he was part of the show Hee Haw back in the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a great poll by Play Action Reel.
I didn't know that. Who's the most famous person to come out of Hee Haw?
Roy Clark, maybe, or Buck Owens.
Buck Owens.
Buck Owens was great.
Not Buck Adams.
No.
Okay. I don't think.
Wow.
I don't think Buck Adams came out of Hee Haw.
Buck Adams is no longer with us.
Is that right? Did he pass away?
He passed away.
That man lived a great life. No argument there. All right. We got a lot happening here. Rob Motti is going to join us this hour. We'll see if we can track down some other people. Barrett will be back with us. Now, Barrett's going to be back Thursday, right?
I think he's gone for 3 days. Yeah, he's in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any questions you have, hit him up on Twitter. We'll see if he pops in the show as well. All right.
We'll see if he answers you. Good luck.
Yeah. That's another part of it. Good luck. We're back in 3 across the board. It's the middle.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
but as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
As long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Welcome to the Wildwoods, the perfect place where you can safely do everything or nothing at all. Catch a wave, take a nap, go for a drive, grab a bite. It's your vacation, and we're doing everything we can to make it a safe one. The Wildwoods. Your vacation, your way.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on three. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
This is a key. It's a family tree. It's a pair of wings. It's a secret handshake. And a ticket to anywhere in the world. It's more than a uniform. It's the door to a world most people only dream of. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Try it on at GoArmy.com.
All right.
Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
Okay, so anything new coming out? Anybody throw another interception or fumble or do anything that we should know about with practice?
No, nothing that I've seen. But I gave out some bad information in the previous segment.
Uh-oh. Hee-haw?
Yeah, I was mistaken. I was associating Porter Wagner with Hee-haw. He had nothing to do with that show. He had his own show, and Play Action Reel and a couple of the other guys on the stream are right. That's where Dolly Parton got her introduction to the world, was on the Porter Wagner show in the late 60s.
Okay, so Porter Wagner not with Hee-haw. However, Porter Wagner associated with launching the career of Dolly Parton.
And for this, I will always be grateful.
Oh, look at that.
Love
so now you know, by the way.
Exactly. Just got to set the record straight.
Okay, that's fine. We like to do that here.
Yeah.
You know, by all means. Got it.
These blow-by-blow tweets about practice are just hilarious, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know if there is anything else that we can take away. Like, I'm not watching Summer League.
No, I did not watch any Summer League. I watched a little of the football over the weekend, and I DVR'd the Patriots game because I wanted to see them because they're playing the Eagles this week.
Mack,
so I took a look at that. Yeah. Saw a little Mac Jones. You know, he looked like he looked like, you know, he's getting it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I can see that as well. But no, I'm with you, man. Like, I watched the Phillies just to try to pay attention, especially if there was a wager on it. But for the most part, I was just watching. Like, I wasn't watching with expectation. Even the Eagles game, it's hard because it's our team.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like it was pretty easy, even yesterday, right? It was pretty easy to watch that Panthers-Colts game if you weren't in it for major expectations.
Well, yeah, the Panthers didn't play anybody.
Yeah, that's another
They
thing.
didn't play any of their big starters. So
No, McCaffrey clearly out. Their top two
no
back.
Darnold. Yeah.
So again, if you go into it like, hey, it's football,
Right.
then fine. But I'm not saying like you have to be jacked up. Oh my God, yes, the NFL's back, and let me just go crazy because I get to watch football. No. But it's nice to have that on. Maybe for you, golf and some others, right? Golf as well. But it's just nice to have that on in the household.
It is. Now I'm just wondering what I'm going to do. I'm going to be, how many college games are we going to be able to watch during that 2.5-week drought between week 3 of the preseason and the start of the NFL? That's college will be on, but
right. Well, we'd have to look at that because what's week 1? I think that's my first props and locks. Actually,
oh yeah,
that Thursday night because it's a Fox game.
Well, did you do more? Did you do QVC this past Sunday again?
No. I have to wait for this next product to come in. Everything's backed up from overseas.
Yeah, you can't get anything.
No, I mean, stuff is just piling up in China right now to ship out.
I had to go to 3 different Golf Galaxies and Dick's Sporting Goods to cobble together enough golf grips to re-grip my golf clubs. Because they're out of everything. And they said, well, yeah, we're not going to even get those probably till middle of next year. I'm like, are you kidding?
So did you play with the new grips yet?
Yes.
Or tomorrow, the first day?
No, I played all weekend with them. Makes a big difference. It's like having new clubs.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I lost 4 clubs over the span of 4 outings. So I had to go get some new ones.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I lost.
You just leaving them on the ground?
Lob wedge, 8 iron, 6 iron, and 3 hybrid. Gone.
What? How do you lose a 3 hybrid?
I don't know. I think it fell out of the golf bag when I was on it. I rarely take a cart. And my brother-in-law was driving around all crazy like a madman. And I think one of the clubs was loose. Next thing you know, I couldn't find it. So I went out. It was a nice excuse to go out and buy yesterday. So I get a 3 hybrid, a Ping G425.
Oh, the new driver?
No, hybrid.
Oh, because I played with a guy who has that driver this weekend. It's a nice club.
There's a lot of people raving about that. And I also got the Sim Max 5 Rescue.
Look at you.
I'm going to start blasting that 5 because everybody I know that's significantly better than me has a Rescue. And they hit that sucker a lot. On the fairway, out of the rough, all this other stuff. So, no, I only threw 1 club, and that was a while ago. That was on a C9 where you're able to get away with throwing stuff.
Okay. Yeah, you can't throw stuff on the
Toomey.
On the Toomey.
No,
or the Flynn.
Now they got binoculars out there, so
right.
Time you out,
and they're looking and they're watching you particularly.
Yes,
like
Well, here's the thing: I played with a gentleman yesterday. I mentioned, and he's a really good putter, and actually wasn't expensive at all. I went to Dick's, and they had a pretty good deal. So he has a 2-handed putter, and like a 2-handed putter.
Oh, like Adam Scott uses.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he was telling me how he never anchored. So when they took the anchor away, it was like, okay, nothing changed for him. And I got to be honest, he was a really good putter. And, I'm always looking for the edge.
He's like Bernhard Langer.
You like that 2-handed putter? Or is it just aesthetically so off for you that you couldn't do it?
I could never do it.
Just because it's like.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm out on that.
It's got to be better, though, right? Like, why are people doing it otherwise?
Only like a handful of people use it.
On tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, those guys could use a wooden stick.
I've never seen anybody use that thing at my club.
Really?
Never.
Okay. Maybe
no. They'd be banished.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to show up tomorrow with a 2. Let's see
that's for an outing. You're okay for an outing.
Yeah, that's true. Man, I some of the dress code that I see on these outings, man. My God. People just show. I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, man, maybe I should just be part of an outing.
Horrendous.
Yep. Now, Summer League, I'll tell you one team that's good. That's a good bet in the Summer League.
Basketball, NBA Summer League?
Kings. If you can get the Kings on plus money on any matchup, take them.
Yeah.
Think of it. The majority of their Summer League team is actually a lot of their NBA team. So these guys, it's like It's like Dwayne Haskins, right? Dwayne Haskins is a former first rounder. It's like, who was the third stringer that we saw?
Well, I mean, Halliburton isn't playing in the summer.
He's one. He's only one, but everybody else is.
Really?
Yeah. And he just came off of it as well. So this team is point is that this team is probably going to play a lot of their guys in the summer league. You sure he's not on their team, by the way?
I mean, why would he be?
It's only second year in the league this year.
No, but he's good though. I think he's like
playing. You didn't need any more from Tyrese, right?
I'm surprised that he's playing as much as he is.
Yeah, look, I get it. I'm not arguing with you by any means. I understand. On the surface, you're kind of like, come on, this guy shouldn't be playing.
I've got this big mosquito flying around my studio.
I thought you were something with the wife.
No. She's not. She's at work.
Okay.
I got a big mosquito. I took a golf lesson this morning. And that was very good. It's an aim point putting lesson.
Now, is that all you do is just putt?
Yes. It's a way to read greens.
Well, that's going to do wonders for you, I imagine. Right?
I think so. I think it's going to be a nice thing to add to the arsenal.
But you can't do a lesson and then go out and play. So
I'm going to this afternoon. I'm going to go.
Oh yeah,
I'm just going to putt this afternoon.
You can do that at your place. It's not closed.
Well, you just go over.
Climb the fence.
Yeah, climb the fence.
They got an electric fence where I am, man. Right?
Yes. Do they? You can get to your putting green.
I don't think so, man. I think the range and the greens, all that are closed. I could get to it, but do I really want to cause problems?
No, you don't want to cause problems.
Somebody from the pool is going to blow the whistle. Get him out.
Yeah.
Get him out. All right, Rob Monty, we'll see how good of a putter he is coming up next. I wonder if Rob plays golf. I mean, he's such a big dude,
Yeah.
It's hard to play if you're really jacked.
Muscular, yeah.
Yeah, you have that. You need to have that, aim with it. Man, I'm telling you, man. Twins tonight went over or under 10 on that Indians-Twins game.
The Twins?
Guardians, I guess they're called now, right?
No, the Indians. Yeah. Terrible name. That's an awful name.
It is brutal. No, I went under 10.
And the script for the the uniforms is brutal too.
Right.
It's just ugly.
Oh, wow. That's insane.
Yeah, your place is a little stricter than mine, I think. I can go on a putting green on an off day. I'm not going to go out on the golf course because that's the day they do a lot of maintenance.
Right. That's the thing where you can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't get away with that. What's up, bud?
There he is.
Golf at all?
Yo.
Do you play golf?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, it's too frustrating. I'm not old enough yet.
Oh, you think that as you get older, it's going to be less
frustrating?
No, I just feel like as long as I can play football and baseball, I'm going to do that. And when my body's totally broken down, I'll hit the golf course. But then I won't be able to walk around the golf course, and I'll need the cart to drag me around.
Man, now you're in Florida?
Yeah. I'm living in chaos right now. It's an absolute mess. We moved in. We bought a house a month ago. We bought a brand new construction home. So you know what we did, right? We walked right in and said, let's remodel the whole freaking thing.
Jeez.
Right. It's like just move in condition, bring your stuff and live. But right now we're redoing a kitchen. We're doing new floors. We got all kinds of stuff. No couches yet. Today they're supposed to finally come at noon. We've been sitting on floors and chairs. It's annoying.
Wow. So, section of Florida you in?
I'm near Tampa.
Oh, okay, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Oh, you're in Florida now?
Well, my mom's had a place down there for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. So our town's called Odessa. So
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice, but
now what are you down at Dolphin stuff? Just bouncing around using that as an excuse, or
I can't go anywhere. I can't go anywhere right now because the NFL won't allow me in until I get go through the protocol with the mandates and the vaccines and all that nonsense. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I got the next one coming Sunday, and if I don't die from it, then I'll be ready to go. I'll be cleared 3 days before the NFL opener, the Dallas Tampa game.
You're actually right near my mom.
And where's she at? What town?
Spring Hill.
Yeah.
It's just north of you a little bit.
Yeah. Not too
Hernando
far.
County. You're in Pasco, I believe.
Pasco, yep.
Yeah.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, so Rob Motti in the house from the Associated Press. There's nobody higher on the chain of command, Harry. I don't know if you know this.
Right.
But as far as the Associated Press football coverage is concerned, Rob Motti is at the top. He has left us peons in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Still, though, and look, this is how you know this is a grounded individual who has gone on to bigger and better things, not only as time for us, but double dipping on the JAKIB Media YouTube page with Ertz 365 earlier today.
You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I was like, all right, Jody, I'll get back in today. I've been like kind of MIA for the last 3 weeks, living in chaos, trying to figure out where I'm going to sit, where I'm going to eat, what I'm going to do. You know, the whole. I don't know if you heard about my refrigerator thing. I ended up buying 5, hoping 3 would show up. That was great. They gave me a 5 to 12 week window, like the Colts gave Carson Wentz in his foot injury. Refrigerator delivery, but got that taken care of. So we got a place to eat now. You know, I was like, all right, let me get back in the mix and get in this football thing. And Kerryon Johnson's now week to week with an injury. Keeping my eye on the birds because I got to come up there and do 6 or 7 games. So I'll still. You can't keep the boy out of Philly. You can take me out of Philly, but you can't keep me out.
Right. Exactly.
Right now, obviously they got the joint practices going right now with New England. What do you think? This is a big week for Nick Sirianni, don't you think? Like he's gonna be spending time coordinating practices with arguably the best coach in the history of the game. He's got a big week of. He's going to learn some things, I think, this week.
Yeah, I hope he dips into the Doug Peterson school of approaching Bill Belichick and not the Sean McVay, because if you guys remember before the Eagles played the Patriots in the Super Bowl, Peterson walked up to Belichick, confident, swagger, mentality, like, I'm going to kick your ass, right? And Sean McVay, I covered that Super Bowl, and I saw him approach Bill Belichick like he was bowing at his altar. And
he was in awe.
He was just like starstruck. Like, you're the greatest coach ever. I can't believe I'm sharing the same sideline with you playing. And then his team went out there and laid an egg in that suit. So I hope Nick learns from Doug a little bit, and being that he's his successor, he may. But yeah, you're right, Harry. It is a big week because you're going up against the Patriots team who Bill Belichick, regardless of what people may think of him, and as you said, he's got to be the greatest coach in the NFL. Tom Brady had a lot to do with that, and we saw that last year. But he does things the right way, and he knows how to plan out a practice. He knows how to get his team ready, and it's going to be a great test for not just Nick, but for his young coaching staff, everyone on that coaching staff, and for the players. So it's nice to see. I'm seeing clips right now of Quez Watkins beating Jackson deep for a touchdown. So you're going to see that played over and over and over again all week. And people are going to be drafting Quez Watkins in the first round of their fantasy draft. And I hope he doesn't end up like Paul Turner.
Well, that's better video than watching Ben Simmons try to shoot threes with Rajon Rondo.
This is true. Yeah. If Ben Simmons wants to lay, like, please stay away from Rajon Rondo.
I know.
Come on, man.
That would be like video of Quez Watkins working the offseason with J-Jaw.
Yeah.
That would be like, whoa. Ben Simmons is learning how to shoot from Rondo. Now this guy's learning how to run routes from J-Jaw. Like, what the hell's happening? I am curious, though, Rob. We were talking about this earlier from the Eagles standpoint, but really from the NFL standpoint. Because we're trying to figure out week 2. And if trying to figure out week 2, I think we need a better understanding of week 3. So what does week 3 in the NFL preseason look like? Is it a typical week 3? Is it a hybrid of what week 4 was to what week 3 was? Trying to figure out if it's a quarter, a series, maybe a half that guys are expected to play in the third game, because that kind of gives us an idea of how long these guys will play Thursday for our team and then moving forward this weekend?
Yeah, that's a great question because typically week 3 was the one where you go a half or where you get your most out of the starters and then nobody suits up for week 4. Now there is no week 4. And I think a lot of coaches will glean more out of the 2 joint practices that teams are doing. A lot of teams are doing, the Eagles are doing. They'll take more out of these joint practices than they will the actual game film when they're going to go in there vanilla. Right? The Eagles can prepare better against the Patriots in a joint practice than they can putting stuff on film that they don't want the Falcons to see in week 1 of the NFL season. So I think you'll get more from the guys this week and then next week in that joint practice than we will on the field. If I would anticipate this is the week where you'll play your starters longer and have them sit out a little bit more in week 3. However, you do have that 2-week window, right, between week 3 and the regular season. So I don't know. I think coaches may approach it differently. Some coaches may go week 3 is still our week 3. Week 4 will be there is none, so we just got the 2 extra weeks in ahead of the regular season. So I think some coaches are going to be learning, in especially the rookie head coaches, they're learning on the fly. They're trying to figure out how are we going to approach this new 3-week preseason going forward, and some things that they do this year they may not do next year because it might not work for them. But I think we'll end up seeing a lot more joint practices across the league, which to me is a good thing.
Yeah. That's an interesting point because the other teams can't see the film of the practice. So it's like you make the point, like if you do it in the game, Atlanta gets to look at it. So that's a very good point. Now, what jumped out at you? I know you've been very busy off the working world, with your stuff in your home. What were you able to watch on week 1 in preseason around the league that kind of jumped out at you?
Well, thank God for NFL Game Pass because I've been enforcing myself. It's painful. It's preseason football, but preseason football is better than no football at all. So I've been bouncing around watching a condensed version of a lot of the games. I'm going to finish all the games by Wednesday. And from the Eagles standpoint, I thought Jalen Hurts looked pretty good. I thought Jalen Hurts had command, sound just like Nick Sirianni. He said he had command of the offense, and he did. Now, the throw deep to Watkins, he needed to connect on that. And I think with some more timing, more chemistry, he'll be able to connect on a pass like that. He had a couple drops. He did step up and run the one time and took on the tackler. And, everybody's going to ask Nick Sirianni, would you rather him slide? Would you rather him do this? Would you rather him do that? It's competitive instinct, man. It's just competitive instinct. I want my guys to go out there and do what they can. I thought the Eagles' ones and on offense and defense were decent, and it's that their deep reserves and their reserves did not look good, and we expected that too because this isn't a good football team. This isn't a deep football team, but I do think, guys, that this is going to be a team that surprises people in that they're not Drek. They're not a 3-win team. They're not a 4-win team. I think they're closer to that 6 to 8 range. A lot of things got to break down the right way for them to get to 8, but I think it's possible. There's potential for it, especially in this weak NFC least.
Yeah, but how weak do you think it really is, right? Where
it ain't good, man.
No, it's not good, but I don't necessarily know if outside of like one top-heavy team down in the NFC South, let's say, I mean, Tampa, we expect to just run it back. I get it. But New Orleans without a quarterback, Michael Thomas down, right? I'm not overreacting to the preseason, just looking at the scenario. They could take a significant step back. I get what you're saying, which is there's no top-heavy team in this division because it's probably going to be Dallas. But I think there is, and I say think, there's a misconception maybe that because it's bad, it's equal. And I still feel like the Cowboys and week-to-week Washington are going to be head and shoulders above the Eagles. Now, matchups individually are different. I get it head-to-head, but I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the Eagles are racing for the Giants to stay out of the basement, and nothing really is, right? Nothing will change there in the preseason, at least.
Yeah, no, and I agree with. I think the Dallas Cowboys are the front runners in the NFC East, but as long as Dak Prescott's healthy, and if Dak isn't healthy, they got issues, they got problems. So they need him to get back. And as much as I like the offense and the firepower they have there, their defense is still. It's coming off what was one of the worst years in NFL history defensively. I like Micah Parsons. I think his addition, he's a playmaker, is going to help the Cowboys. They're my front runner. They're my team to win the NFC East, but I don't think they're more than a 10-win team at best. I think they're a 9 or 10-win team. So I do believe the division this year will finally have a winner that doesn't have a losing record. But I think all 4 of those teams, there's so much parity that they're between that 6 to 10. So when you're between 6 to 10, you're the last place team at 6, and you're the first place team. Like, they can go into December somewhat in the mix. Like, they'll play meaningful football games in December, not because they're any good, but because the other teams haven't run away with it. Washington's defense is, you said Dallas and Washington, and I agree there, because I think Washington's defense is just so good that they'll keep them in it, especially that front 4. They'll keep them in games all year long, and it'll be up to whoever's quarterbacking, Ryan Fitzmagic or whatever, Henneke, whatever they do there. I think they're in the 9-win range, 8-9 win range, and Dallas will end up winning. But if something happens, if Dak can't go, and Jerry Jones doesn't want to go out to Chicago and bring Nick Foles in or somebody like that, and they go with Ben DiNucci or whoever. Ben DiNucci, man, sounds like my former butcher at 9th Street in the Italian market.
Might have a better arm. You never know.
Yeah, could be.
I don't know what his beef is like.
Hey, what do you think happens with Zach Ertz?
I'm shocked he's here. Honestly, I've said this with other guys on other shows.
Said it with us?
I've said it on my shows before when I was doing shows in Philly. I'm really shocked that he's still here, and it's I know there were some reports that said things are okay now. Things are not okay. This is a situation where Zach Ertz is living up to his contract, doesn't want to be fined. He's gonna go in there and honor the contract that he signed. But by no means does he want to be here. And I don't know how it reached this point, other than maybe there's a little vindictiveness in this. Like, Zach Ertz should have been – Zach Ertz has done more for this organization and not been given or afforded the opportunity to seek his next team. Like, we saw even Malcolm Jenkins was released, went and signed somewhere else, right? A guy like Zach Ertz, who's done so much for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I can understand from the Eagles' standpoint, hey, we're not going to give the guy away. He's got some value. But the
look at that.
We lost him. Well, that was good stuff there on Ertz, too.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get him back.
Now,
you think Howie pulled the plug on Rob's connection there?
I think so. Or we thought maybe that the fridge got here, and that was your easy way to just get the hell out of here.
I think Howie heard me going there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
He zapped it. He didn't want me to go down that road. But yeah, it's a terrible situation what they did to him, and I can understand the Eagles wanting to get the most out of it. But hey, at this point, it helps Jalen Hurts to have 2 good tight ends. That certainly will help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's where I think we're trying to figure this thing out, which is Zach Ertz is not going to get buried on this team if he's here week 1. If anything, the Eagles may try and showcase him a little more, or at least just keep him out there in order to entice a team maybe in the first couple of – I don't know. Like, I guess my question is, how likely is it that Ertz still gets moved in the first weeks that you have available to trade somebody in the regular season, as opposed to, hey, man, if this guy is on the roster, if he's on the 53 week 1, then he's on the 53 week 17?
I think it's more likely that he's here. I think it's more likely that he's here unless a team that is a contender loses somebody at that position. I feel like the longer he's here in training camp, the more likely it's going to be that he's here week 1 through 17, and you just go, you ride it out and see what you can do and see if that can help a rookie, well, not a rookie, but an unproven quarterback who can rely on his. We've seen that in practice where he's hitting the tight ends a lot, and he'll continue to do that. Like, Zach Ertz is I think Zach Ertz still has a lot of good football left in him. I think Zach Ertz is a potential, I'm not going to say it right now, but a potential Hall of Famer in the NFL. And he can, at age 30, we've seen tight ends play into their late 30s. Look at Gronk, Antonio Gates before that, Tony Gonzalez, guys like that. They can play. Jason Witten, they can play into 35, 36, 37. I don't see any reason why Zach can't do that. And he's going to have to do it somewhere else after this season, if not a continuation of picking it up from this season somewhere else. But I would have loved to see him in Indianapolis, and a part of me thinks that he wasn't released, so he couldn't go out to Indianapolis and be there with Carson Wentz.
Real quick, Harry, I'm sorry. Do you have anything more on the hair?
No. You know what? It's funny because Zach and I go to, well, we did when I was up in Jersey. We went to the same church, and he was there. He was there with the hair. I saw him on the video, right? Because I was watching it virtually because I was down here. I would have loved to ask him about the hair.
I think he may have been daydreaming about Carson when he dropped that pass that was right in his hands from Jalen on 3rd down.
Yeah, I still think about the one he dropped from Carson against the Dolphins. Remember in that game near the goal line, and that lost to Fitzmagic in December 2019 before they went on a run.
Yep. Well, what's the surprise player? You talked a little bit about Quez Watkins already, but is there anybody else that's you're hearing about or you've watched that really kind of surprised you in the positive?
I'm excited to see if Tyree Jackson could be a tight end, man.
Yeah.
You got a big, giant, behemoth, mammoth dude over there, 6'7", former quarterback, and stick with the tight end position. If Zach is or isn't here, you still need depth there. They got Richard Rodgers, but you still need depth. And from all accounts and all reports, he's looked pretty good. Flacco was talking about him in a glowing terms. That's a guy that I look at and I want to see more of in week 2 and in week 3 in the preseason. You're not going to put Ertz out there. You probably don't need to use Dallas Goedert much. Let this kid get some snaps and see what he can do.
Man, I don't know. Is there going to be a conversation surrounding Jalen Hurts? And is this only in Philadelphia? Like, are people looking at the Philadelphia Eagles outside of this area after what happened with Justin Fields on Saturday and having the same conclusion that, I don't know, what's his name from Hatboro, Rich from Hatboro, or some other idiot has been saying for the past 2 days that the Eagles made a mistake not drafting Fields as opposed to rolling with Hurts. Like, is that just a Philly thing, or are people actually looking at another possible mistake that the Eagles made at the draft, specifically with a quarterback?
You know what? If Fields ends up being a stud quarterback, then people are going to look back at it. But I'm not going to go crazy over one preseason game that Fields had the other day. But I thought they made the right move in not trading up for a quarterback or taking a quarterback at that position because they invested in Jalen Hurts. They invested a 2nd-round pick in Jalen Hurts that led to the disintegration of your franchise quarterback, the ruination of your Super Bowl winning head coach. Well, you better find out if this kid was worth more than just being a 2nd-round pick and could be your franchise quarterback. To me, the most important thing this year is finding out if Jalen Hurts can be the guy going forward. If he can be the QB1 in 2022, that to me is the priority for the entire season. He's got to play every snap if he's healthy.
That's my fault, Ron Culver. Sorry about that. I was looking at something else. We went insanely late, so. You got a jet too, right? Your fridge?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got some couches, fridges, whatever it may be.
All right, brother. We and always enjoy it, man. Good luck down there.
Thank you, guys. Next time I'll put a shirt on. I promise.
We wouldn't know you any other way. Thanks, Rob. That's Rob Motti at Rob Motti on Twitter. Now, Mutt is going to join us, but he could only do the phone.
Oh, okay.
Ahead of this joint practice, so we can get a little hoodie action.
We'll get the Mutt on the phone.
Yeah, see what he has to say on that. Well, Culver's probably fuming.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. We went 2 minutes late that we were supposed to. I don't even know if we'll have time to come back at this point. Like, oof. Look, I was all wrapped. I was all enamored.
Yeah. Tyree Jackson. He's fired up about him, too.
No, I have to tell you that there's a lot to be excited about early. But, look, I think that – all right, let me put it this way. What are we more excited about? Unknown. Preseason.
Yes.
Like, we're not really excited about the opportunities that this team's going to have in the regular season. So I think that kind of shows you where this team's ceiling is, which is they could probably surprise a bunch of people and win 8 games. But even that, 8 and 9, I think is a stretch.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Still here's too early to say, really.
But think about this, right? Like the Eagles are going up against teams last year that finished third, fourth in their division.
Mm-hmm.
But we see this where it's a team that gets healthy from last year, especially last year with COVID and everything else. It's not difficult to move out of your spot and be better than what you were. Now, people could say, well, so are the Eagles. So are the Eagles.
Right.
Oh, look at that. Ron, I'd say Ron is pretty sharp to be able to us to break late and to come back on time like that. That's all I'm saying.
It's
not
just
about us.
It's just like everything's so new. It's kind of fun.
Well, yes,
You
I
know?
think there's a sense of it being new and fun, but I also think that has a lot to do with the expectations that are surrounding it, as well as realistically what's going to happen for this team. Like they win 8 games, this city should throw them a parade. Seriously.
Yeah, where would that parade be?
Somewhere on the main line.
Okay.
Right? It would be like
maybe South Jersey. I think that's a South Jersey parade. You go right by Barrett's house.
Right. Can end right there by Donkeys. You'd have something good there. Look, I think there's something to that. All right, Mutt's going to join us at 10, so let's take a quick one here. We'll come back and have that beefy segment for everybody here as well.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
As long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Welcome to the Wildwoods, the perfect place where you can safely do everything or nothing at all. Catch a wave, take a nap, go for a drive, grab a bite. It's your vacation, and we're doing everything we can to make it a safe one. The Wildwoods. Your vacation, your way.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
This is a key. It's a family tree. It's a pair of wings. It's a secret handshake. And a ticket to anywhere in the world. It's more than a uniform. It's the door to a world most people only dream of. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Try it on at GoArmy.com.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
What?
Got to give a a shout out to Barstool Philly here on Twitter.
Okay.
They got video of Devontae Smith, who's back at practice in pads, catching balls from the jugs machine and tucks it, then gives it to J-Jaw. Well, J-Jaw is the trash can on wheels.
What's the date?
That they put the balls in.
That tweet?
1 hour ago.
Okay. Go look at my response to Jimmy Kemsky. How long ago? I'll find it for you.
Wait.
My response 2 hours ago to Jimmy Kemsky has a still shot 2 hours ago. That would be Devontae Smith in full pads, ... He's about to catch a ball, and to the right of him is a trash can. And my response, Harry Mays, is next to J-Jaw?
So they pilfered that from you.
Well, look, if it didn't come from, we already know our buddy McDevitt up at WWE is claiming a infringement of that picture, and then they made a T-shirt of it. So apparently,
I see your tweet here. That was 2 hours ago.
Yeah. People are still responding to it.
Rick Merarkey, responded with a meme.
Our buddy Rick back.
Yeah.
I think he's on to bigger and better things now, right?
I don't know. Where is he?
Oh, I don't think he's at that station. I think he's at the bigger one, MMR, right?
I'm not sure. I wonder how our guy Piven made out at the Keswick this weekend.
Any rave reviews?
I didn't hear anything.
Did anybody go see him?
In partnership with JAKIB Media.
And you, my friend, are caught in the middle.
The Middle starts now on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans that fit your life. Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, we have the, what's it called now? Ready to go. I was going to say now, the overreaction, the outrage that we'll see from positive and negative.
From the joint practices?
Correct. Now, what about this Jalen Reagor one-on-one versus the Patriots and the sideline grab? Come on.
I didn't see that one yet.
McManus had this up here about an hour ago.
I did see Jalen Mills photograph talking to Howie Roseman.
Yep, this morning, right? The fist bump that went viral.
Fist bump, yeah. Howie loves the fist bump with the players, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He loves that.
He does. It reminds me, like, I put this out on Twitter earlier. Howie Roseman would be a great market manager in radio.
Yes.
He just cares about going up and being seen by the big
jocks.
People. Right.
Yes.
Right. Oh, we got Baldy. Yeah.
It's literally jock sniffing.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, I think that's definitely what I got there. Absolutely.
Because there was one prior to the preseason game, before it started, they ran some video, of Eagles stuff. And part of it was Howie on the phone with Devontae Smith right after they selected him, right, in the draft.
Right.
You're an Eagle, man. We're fired up. They played that. And I'm just like, oh.
Seriously.
No.
Like, you can't do that, right?
You're an Eagle, man. We're fired up.
Have some discernment with what you put out to the public.
Yes, come
Seriously.
on.
You're doing more damage, I think, at that point than you are help for a
right.
Sport, right? Hey, you're an Eagle, man.
I mean, our buddy Spadaro wouldn't even put that out there.
No.
He has more sense than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, that's the thing, is employees having more sense than the employer, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I tell you, there's something to it. All right, Mutnansky's going to join us coming up. I have to make sure that we can grab him on the phone. AP Top 25 is out. You see this?
For college football?
Correct.
Way too early.
New top 10.
I hate the preseason poll.
We're back in 3 of the network. Oh, man. All right, let me get Ron
the digits.
Yeah. Man, I am not feeling great today. I don't know what is going on.
No?
No.
I'm fired up about this putting thing.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
I sunk a bunch yesterday prior to the lesson. Had a great round yesterday. I got to hit the ceremonial tee shot for this outing tomorrow.
So do you have the groups?
I don't. I think you and I are together, though.
Okay. I don't know what it is. It's like this. I guess it's sinus. Fuck. I took some shit too.
And me and Wes Patterson will hit the opening tee shot.
That's a long drive guy, right?
Yeah, he'll hit his, by me, probably 100 yards. Easy.
Yeah, I wonder how.
Hits it too far in that hole, he'll put it in the pond. Even though we're going with the tees are going to be back. The white tees are going to be back like 40 yards.
So what's normal?
From where they normally are.
Is that where the mids are, like the blacks or whatever you have there?
No, the blacks are even further back.
So how many tees do you have? I forget. 3 or 4?
Well, there's only 4 tees, but there's 3 teeing areas.
Right,
so
right.
They put 3 tees on the same area usually, the red, the gold, and the white. But then there's another teeing area back.
Like the tips.
30 some yards. No, not the tips. The 30 some yards. The tips are 50 yards back.
Okay.
That's where the blacks are permanently. But sometimes they move the whites, and they're going to move the whites for this event.
So it'd be like when they moved the blacks at my place to the reds.
I guess, yeah. I don't know which order yours is.
Well, I have green is tips. Red is like most like men.
Okay.
Black is like,
the red are like our whites then.
Yeah, red is like if you shoot, you're breaking 80, then a lot of guys shoot there, or longer hitters.
Yeah.
Shoot from the red. And then the blacks are standard. Like blacks are men's standard where, tournaments and everything like, member get all that stuff is from
Yeah.
And then we have white, which is like women or probably where I should be hitting. And then the reds, which is like women's. But like my wife hits from the whites, like a lot of the women hit from the whites. Most I play with, actually.
You're listening to In My Opinion on the Sports Map Radio Network.
What?
Hi, Rocket Mortgage.
What?
Did you hear that?
No.
In My Opinion.
Oh, that's the show before us.
Well, that's the promo that just played.
We already screwed Ron over a couple of times. He's all right to make a mistake every now and again.
Barrett Brooks and Harry Mays.
All right, we go out and joined on the phone today, racing around. It's got parent responsibility. I don't have that yet. All my parent responsibilities are inside the house.
Right.
I'm not driving anybody to soccer practice, football practice.
No, but that's going to come in about 7 years.
It is going to come.
Yeah.
Probably sooner than later. Mike Butnansky is on Twitter. Well, now, hold on a second, because I want to make sure that I have your actual one. I had the show one up here like an idiot. So Mutt, of course, is the host, 6 to 10, Monday through Friday. It's at Mutt WEEI. Thank you. That's what it is. The show is Mutt at Night, but we want you to follow at Mutt WEEI for Mike Butnansky. He's a veteran up there at WEEI, bouncing around and now holding down the evenings. Harry Mays, Eytan Shander here in Philly, brother. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Boys, I sit here and scroll Twitter and read about Jalen Hurts having a big practice today and Cam Newton stinking, so all is right with the world.
Wait a second. Are you suggesting that Bill Belichick will take advantage of these joint practices, scouting Jalen Hurts in the attempt that they can make a trade or just do something like throw some sort of wrench in a 3-team deal for Deshaun Watson?
Well, unfortunately, Bill's got his guy. He's got his quarterback of the current, and Cam Newton, his quarterback of the future, Mac Jones. And the reality is that the Eagles have a better quarterback. And I think we found that out today at practice. We saw that the quarterback of the future, Mac Jones, might not start the year, but he will start at some point this year, boys. Mac will start for the Pats at some point in 2021.
Yeah, what was the impression up there? What was the grade that sports radio host gave Mac Jones after that opening night performance against the Washington football team?
Oh, he got a solid B. And we're grading on a curve here because anything compared to Cam last year was going to look good. The biggest thing, guys, people didn't get a chance to watch the game. They ran two different offenses. They ran the offense with Cam, which was last year's offense. He played 2 series. Looked fine like he always does. Like a couple of bad passes, a couple of good passes, nothing great. They brought in Mac Jones, and they ran old school Patriot 4-5 wide up-tempo offense. Not saying he's Tom Brady, but that was the offense they ran. And so it was refreshing to see that, yes, this team can still run like a modern NFL offense when they have a quarterback who can throw.
Well, that's the thing. How long does it take for Mac Jones to start a regular season game, in your opinion?
$1 million question. If I had to guess, I would say he starts by week 6. And that's just based on Bill wanting to give the veteran Cam Newton an opportunity. And he's going to run out of opportunities. He'll have to turn to Mack. Like if it were me, if Mack wins the job in camp, I would start Mack week 1. I don't think Bill's got the stomach to start a rookie in week 1. So I'm going to give Cam 5 weeks. So look at it last year with better talent around him, and they'll say, well, time for Mac Jones. I would do it sooner if he wins the job, but I'm going to say week 6.
Well, he's got a pretty good depth chart of running backs on that team to hand the ball off to as a young quarterback. That's for sure. But who's the wide receiver that's going to step forward this year for these Patriots?
Well, you guys probably never heard of him. This guy, he's really fast, has trouble catching the ball. Nelson Aguilar.
Oh, yeah, him.
Rings the bell.
Very, very talented guy. The receiving core, Bill, this is where Bill misjudged the market a little bit. Did a good job at tight end getting Hunter Henry, Andrew Smith, but he spent huge money on Nelson Aguilar and good money on Kendrick Bourne. 2 guys who they're fine, but they're not difference makers at that position. So it's a very tight end oriented offense with Henry and Smith being a big part of what they do there in the middle of the field.
I'm curious, is there any shot? Well, actually, you know what? Let me save that one because it's a little more crazy of a theory here. And I like to save those to, towards the end of these hits. But let's further that up here, which is at some point, like, I think it was you, maybe somebody else. Last year, the numbers didn't look as bad maybe as the eye test throwing the ball deep. But I just wonder at some point how this offense look. And look, you guys probably don't have an idea. You mentioned Bourne and Aguilar, which are 2 new pieces for sure. But do you have any idea what the identity of this offense is going to be? If it's going to be, 6 running backs by committee or trying to get the ball deep down the field?
Well, that's the thing that Josh has done with the offense. With Brady as the quarterback, they were a weekly kind of like game plan offense. They were never one thing. They wanted to do whatever the opponent was worst at. They can't stop the run. They want to run the football. Can't stop the pass. Let's throw it. They couldn't really do that with Cam because Cam couldn't throw the ball. And so I think the biggest difference if Mac Jones is the quarterback is a more complete week-to-week Patriot offense that, as Harry said, they have some very good running backs. Damian Harris, I think, is going to have a breakout year. He's the guy that's going to be the lead dog. But after that, Sony Michel and some other pieces behind him. But I think in a best-case scenario, Mac Jones being versatile enough to be able to throw the football, something Cam has struggled with, will allow them to be sort of what they have been, which is a week-to-week game plan offense. If you guys can't stop the pass, we'll let them throw.
Well, I did watch some of the first game, the preseason game, for what it was worth. But I tell you, Judon played a heck of a football game. That was a big-time pickup for this defense. And this other kid, Duggar, jumped off the screen at me, making plays all over the place.
Those are probably 2 of their best 3 defensive players. If you want to include Steph Gilmore, when he's there, he's a holdout right now or a hold in. He's there but not practicing. He wants more money. Kyle Duggar, the people around the team think he has a chance to be like Rodney Harrison good at safety. He's a big hitter at that safety position. Division 2 kid, Lenore Ryan, but looks to be a real piece, a real blue chip piece in that secondary. And Judon, besides wearing the long sleeve shirt, which is kind of weird, the red long sleeve under the uniform, he was awesome in limited time. And if they're going to use him all over the field, then they're going to have a nice piece up front. And their defense should be better than last year. They had a bunch of COVID opt-outs, and they were banged up. So they spent some money defensively, and assuming Gilmore is there at one of those cornerback spots, they'll be one of the better defenses in the AFC.
Yeah, and that's what I just try and figure out here is what's the ceiling, realistically, what's the ceiling for this team this year?
Who's the quarterback, Eytan? Who's my QB?
I'll let you fill that in as detailed and specific as you'd like. So maybe Cam gets the first 3 weeks and then comes Mac Jones, or Cam goes on fire, or Cam gets hurt in week 1 and then it's Mac Jones. Whatever scenario that fits best in your response, I'll roll with.
The highest ceiling to me is if Mac Jones is able to start and play all year. I think he gives them the best chance to win, and that's without seeing him play one NFL snap. But I saw the way that Josh McDaniels cranked up the offense when he stepped in. If he were to play all year and look as good as people suggest he might be able to be, and Stephon Gilmore comes in and to get his bump in salary, gets a new contract, and ends up there at secondary, they could be an 11-win team. I really, really think that. If things broke perfectly, you're talking about 11-16, that is probably, well, with that high ceiling, there may be a game, or they're fighting with Buffalo for the AFC. If it's Cam Newton at quarterback and maybe Steph Gilmore doesn't sign and gets traded, or he drags his feet on his contract, I mean, I could see them winning 8 games this year because Cam does not give this team to win certain games, and when they're going to force him to throw, they're going to be in trouble like they were at times last year.
What was it like, speaking of last year, up there in New England, watching the old Sage quarterback lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a Super Bowl championship? What was that like for you guys?
Well, basically, the fan base broke into 2 different factions. It was, Team Tom and Team Patriot. I went on the Team Tom side. I was Tom over Team because I thought they really pushed him out the door at the end. Around and didn't want to pay him, just completely botched the exit of the greatest quarterback of all time. So for someone like me who was rooting for Brady to rub it in Bill's face, it was a very fun year. But as a Patriots fan, you were watching 2 games every week. You're watching the Patriots play at 1 o'clock, and you're watching Brady play at 4 in prime time. And by the way, once the Pats are eliminated, I mean, people were all rooting for Brady up here. Don't let anyone fool you. They might lie and say this year they're not, but it was big-time Brady fandom once the Pats got eliminated, and people that wanted to see Bill be proven wrong about the quarterback spot had a pretty good year last year.
Well, week 4 at Foxborough is going to be must-see TV, that's for sure.
Highest-rated game maybe in the history of the NFL regular season. I think has a real potential to be, and easily the hardest ticket in the history of the Patriots. I think you do a quick search on any of these ticket sites right now, you're looking at, close to $1,000 to get in the door. This is 5-6 weeks out. So I can't imagine the feeble pitch if somehow the Pats are 3-0 and Brady's Bucks are 3-0 heading into that game. It's going to be a scene. I can't wait.
I'm curious. We put up a statue of a no longer here head coach talking to a backup quarterback
who's in Chicago.
Exactly, Harry, because they won a Super Bowl. What happened? Does Boston just be renamed Brady at this point? Like, how do you honor Tom Brady when he is all said and done?
See, it's funny because, as you guys know, you're before football ramps up, you find yourself talking about some certain topics you might not talk about in summer in sports talk radio.
Right.
One of the topics around here has been, how are they going to honor Brady when he comes back? Because he's still playing. You're competing against him. So you can't. Do you do a video tribute to the greatest quarterback of all time? Do you stop the game? Do you honor him in any way? Because Gronk comes back in that same game. They haven't had a Gronk day yet.
Right.
So it's going to be a weird scene when he does come back in here because fans want to celebrate him. He's going to get a standing ovation. I'm sure Bill wants to win that game 60-0. And by the way, I can tell you for a fact, Brady wants to win that game 60-0. Tom Brady Sr., Tom's dad, called Sports Talk the day after the schedule came out and went on the radio and said, "We can't wait for that game."
Wow. Oh, that's tremendous.
That's what I mean, right?
Dad's calling sports talk radio. That's phenomenal.
Tom Brady Sr. loves to call sports talk radio, and it's going to be weird if they're bad again and they stick with Cam and Brady's having this great year while Mac Jones just pines away on the bench because there's all these numbers about not playing rookies in year 1 and Bill's averse to that sort of risk. So there is a chance that Brady is playing at a high level again this year, going for a Super Bowl, and Cam is still somehow quarterback in the Patriots.
How much longer has the hoodie got up there, in your opinion, before he says I'm done?
Oh, I think whatever the end date is for Bill is tied to the Don Shula wins record. I think he needs probably 5 more seasons to get Shula's win record. I think he's got his eye on that. He's in a good spot here right now. The owner obviously trusts him as one of the greatest coaches of all time. His kids are on the coaching staff. He'll never get pushed out. He'll decide when to go, and I don't think it's anytime soon. I think he's got 4 years left of coaching for sure.
His son's mullet is Joe Dirt-esque. I mean, it's phenomenal. I saw a lot of that during the game the other night.
At some point, right? I guess when you're assistant coach of the NFL, when you're Rob Ryan, you can do what you want. If you ever want to be a head coach, I guess you got to clean it up. Matt Patricia had to shave his beard.
Right.
He went to Detroit. So, but for now, keep rocking that mullet.
Wait a second. There's a shot now that's gone viral of Bill Belichick talking to Zach Ertz. And now Jamie Apodi, who covers the team for 6ABC, I don't know if this is true or not. This could just be her having fun with it, but she's she's a legit reporter. She covers the team, and also she's attributing quotes. So I think this might be real, which is Zach Ertz warmly introducing Patriots coach Bill Belichick to his wife, Julie. Coach to Ertz, quote, "I'm still going to get you someday." Ertz with a smile. Belichick responds, "But Howie wants 2 first-round picks and 2 of my grandchildren." I could see Belichick saying something like that under his breath that nobody can hear except if you're right there.
The problem is they don't need tight ends anymore.
No, they got Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. I think they're taken care of.
You don't have any fake blonde tight ends, though.
What's that?
You don't have any fake blonde tight ends, though.
I can't believe Ertz is still there. I thought it was Dallas Goedert's team.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was going to be back. I thought he'd be gone by now.
No. Hey, Mutt, we got a jet. I know you got to run around too. Really quick, in like 30 seconds, who's the next team up there in Boston to win a title?
Red Sox, because there's no real salary cap. You can spend as much money as you want, and they'll spend a lot of money. They might not do it this year, but that's the Red Sox, the next team to win a championship.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. Enjoy the show
stuff,
tonight.
Man.
Anytime, boys.
All right, that's Mike Mutnansky, 6 to 10, Monday through Friday, WEEI. We'll break. We'll be back in 3. It is the middle.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
As long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Welcome to the Wildwoods, the perfect place where you can safely do everything or nothing at all. Catch a wave, take a nap, go for a drive, grab a bite. It's your vacation, and we're doing everything we can to make it a safe one. The Wildwoods. Your vacation, your way.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
This is a key. It's a family tree. It's a pair of wings. It's a secret handshake. And a ticket to anywhere in the world. It's more than a uniform. It's the door to a world most people only dream of. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Try it on at GoArmy.com.
Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, anything to extrapolate from our conversation with Mutnansky about the Patriots?
Well, they start off with 2 division games. They have Miami at home, winnable game. Then they go on the road to the Jets, very winnable game. And then New Orleans comes up there. At home, you can win that game. They could be 3-0 when they face Brady.
I'm telling you,
I can't wait for that game. It's obviously a Sunday night football game.
Sure, and I think he's right. That has to be the most. How is it not Sunday night football, the most watched football game in the history of regular season NFL?
Yeah, right? I think so. I think it's a lock. I wonder what the one is now. Regular season.
Ooh, that's a great
question.
What
game would that be? Man, I'm trying to think now. It ended up being, you can't look at it in historical perspectives, like from looking back to say, oh, that was a great game. I bet it was because you don't, it needs to be, it's more about the anticipation of the game than the end result or how good the game became. You know what I mean?
Correct. So you're right. Anticipatory is huge here. So let's see. Is like what comes up? Cowboys, Washington?
No, that hasn't been relevant in a long time outside of those 2 markets.
Right, but it might be. You asked like of all time.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it would have to be. Wouldn't it have to be a more recent game because just more people in general, and more people watching TV? Then in the 70s, back when, Roger Staubach got hurt on Thanksgiving night and Clint Longley came in and led the Cowboys to that big win, that was like 1974. You know what I mean? There's way more people now and way more people watching the NFL than there were then.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so I think just looking at that alone. See, this Patriots Cowboys, this is 2019. Patriots Cowboys most watched NFL regular season game since 2007.
So that was 2019, you said?
Yes, the 13-9 win over the Cowboys for the Patriots, the most watched NFL regular season game over the past decade.
Okay, but does that mean the one in 2007 had more viewers and this was just the next biggest one since then? Or did it have more viewers than the one in 07?
Tied. The highest regular season NFL overnight since Patriots Colts on CBS 2007.
Patriots Colts, that was that incredible game.
Yes. 07, right. So if you notice a theme here, it also matched, by the way, the Cowboys Seahawks game in 2015.
Wasn't that the one that the Patriots got out to a big lead and the Colts came back?
Right. Yeah, that was a good football game.
Yeah.
Wow. The theme here is that the Patriots.
Right.
It's the Patriots or the Cowboys because of the fair weatherness with the Cowboys and just everybody's interested, even if it's hate watching the Patriots, right?
Right.
Plus you have the Brady thing. I don't know.
Yeah, the common denominator, though, is New England. And it will be again. Maybe with Cam Newton at quarterback.
Well, is that what it's going to be, though? Like, we were trying to pry and see how soon Mac Jones plays. And
they don't have their bye until late in the year. They're kind of like the Eagles. They have a late bye. So, if you were thinking like week 7 or 8, their bye week, maybe Cam Newton plays till then, and then they have that extra time to get the kid ready for the game after the bye, but they don't have it until so late.
No, that's a bigger thing too. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know what they do there at that point, like trying to race to the bye just so you can start your rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Boy, you think Mac Jones has any shot at, how about this? Week 1 starting quarterbacks. You see this?
No.
So
Where is it?
Fox has 2, 3, 4, 7 teams that you can bet on who the week 1 starting quarterback is. Mac Jones is plus 187 to Cam Newton's minus 275.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not starting week 1.
You know, plus 187. He's less than a 2-to-1 dog.
I know. It's a short one, but I still don't think that happens.
Injury.
No.
Cam Newton could easily get hurt.
Cam could get hurt anytime. You're true. Yeah, right. But I think that's the only way he goes before like the first 7 or 8 games.
What about Nick Foles at plus 3,000, Andy Dalton minus 225, Justin Fields at plus 162?
Something tells me Foles isn't going to be on that roster.
Yeah, I think if you're right. I think that if you can work something out with Foles,
yeah,
a team that would want him.
Can you imagine him going to Dallas as the backup for Dak Prescott?
But here's the thing.
And he has to play against the Eagles.
So that's like Brady coming back to New England.
Right.
Nick Foles coming back to Philly.
Foles has the statue, man.
Seriously. Oh, man. I got to be honest.
But at least now with Wentz, targeted as being able to play maybe week 1, it's reinvigorated my interest in that thing. I was really kind of bummed out when he got hurt because that's going to be kind of fun to watch 2 teams having, a big interest in the Colts season for the draft pick.
Right. So that's a big difference.
So that's back on the burner now.
What are they for the division? Everybody wrote them off. Colts are plus 162 to win the division. Not a bad bet.
Yeah. What is Tennessee?
Minus 133. That dropped a bit, though, because everybody pounded them as soon as Wentz and Nelson went down, remember? So we'll have to talk about that coming up. All right, back in 3 on the network, still live air. It's the JAKIB Media YouTube channel on the middle. Oh. Man, I don't know what it is. Like, I ate something on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I have just been, like, completely done. I think it was.
Well, what did you eat?
So I got 2 separate rolls of sushi from Whole Foods. And I ate one on the way home, and my wife ate the other. She's fine. But yesterday was brutal, man. Like, I walked 9. I came home, and I've just been shot. Like, shot.
Well, I mean, are you like on the toilet all the time? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh,
but I was up all night.
Sushi.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know what else it could be. I was up all night, so I'm exhausted. I'm normally exhausted, although he's sleeping a lot more.
Yeah. Who's going to the bathroom more, you or your son right now?
Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know. Seriously. But, like, it's exhausting suffering through, if it's food poisoning, mercury poisoning, whatever I have here.
My
I don't feel feverish, scratchy or anything like that.
Right.
So I feel like it's something that would be more respiratory or head. But
Kevin Bloomfield wants to know, are you ready for the outing, Eytan? See, maybe what you're doing here is you're plotting your seed to underperform at the outing, and you're going to blame it on the sushi.
I mean, look, if I'm sick, then they'll probably tell me not to just show up.
Oh, jeez.
I want to play. We're off. Barrett's not here. You're not here. I'm not doing the show solo. If you're
no,
Barrett's on vacation.
Right. Well, Barrett was going to do it with Derek Gunn.
Right.
And then he got this thing that he had to do. That would have been a good show.
It would have been an amazing show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got this vitamin C stuff. It looks like a 8-ball. It's all like super highly concentrated vitamin C. You can't even get it in this country. You have to get it in like France.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the first weekend of college football to tide me over until the NFL comes back. Nebraska at Illinois is the first game of the day. You got Hawaii against UCLA at 3:30 on ESPN. That's going to be at the Rose Bowl. That's at the Rose Bowl. UCLA home game. Yeah.
Got to take UCLA on that one, right? Hawaii, travel and all.
Yeah. Boy, UConn at Fresno State. UConn stinks. That's a bad game.
What's the line on that?
I don't know. I'm not looking at lines. It's just the schedule. Temple plays Rutgers Thursday, September the 2nd on the road.
That's how they open up?
Big Ten Network.
Wow. Now, what happens here in the event that I would need to run out?
On the sports map.
What?
Presented by
Give me a run out.
O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
I don't know. Is Ron Culver there? You might have to do something with Ron, man.
Is Ron there today?
Yeah.
Or was it Mapes?
No, Ron's not happy with us because we blew a break. We didn't sign on time. And
I love how you say we blew a break.
Yeah.
You did.
No, but he says we like I had anything to do with it. I can't break if I wanted to break.
Part of the middle.
You could have said, hey, we got a break. Right?
You've been doing this, Harry. You can't just play all the blame on Eytan.
No.
You put like 70%, 80% on Eytan.
Okay, I'll take 20. I'll take 20%.
Would you be able to hang with Harry for like 10 minutes or no?
Wow, where are you going?
I don't know.
Hang with Harry sounds kind of scary.
Yeah.
I don't even know what would happen.
I don't know if you can only hang with Harry for 10 minutes. You're
no,
either.
Trust me. If you want to take 19 minutes, then go ahead and hang with him. The more time that I can get, the better here.
Oh, my God.
Hang with
Now,
Harry.
are you using your son's diapers? The
Not
stream
yet.
wants to know. Yeah.
They as crazy as it may sound, they don't fit me.
No, they don't.
No.
Would you wear one if it did fit you?
For a show like today, sure.
Yeah, you would?
Yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't you?
I don't think so. The adult diaper situation is not something I'm looking forward to.
No, I'm saying like if you had a stomach issue and you had to sit down for 2 hours to do a radio show, would you wear one?
No.
Nobody's going to know. You're sitting there all on your own.
Well, you know, it would become content. Of course they'd know. Everything is content on this show.
So, Eytan, at some point, there's a little grunt that would tip it off.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
At some point, you're just gonna, and it's involuntary. That's the issue.
I'm struggling, man. I don't know what it is.
Are you wearing a skull cap today?
Yeah, I was trying to keep some heat on my head.
Okay.
Because I have the air blowing in here and everything like that.
Yeah, because you're starting to grow the beard back. So I guess you weren't on QVC this weekend. My mom said you look very good without the beard on QVC.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was told to shave ahead of time.
Yeah, of course.
QVC is kind of like the Yankees.
No.
Clean shaven.
I could show up in a beard. That's fine. But just as far as the audience and who I'm talking to, it was suggested to me by someone who was much more successful and famous on that channel that I just shave the beard. That's all. But the Huntington Valley shirt was fine. So.
Oh, you did wear one.
Well, that's because I only have like 3 collared shirts that aren't wrinkled. And they happen to be golf shirts because I wasn't golfing much at all.
You mean you don't have like a button down, like a nice dress shirt you could have worn?
Yeah, I guess I could have worn that. But it's supposed to be Sunday morning, just hanging out in the house. That's it. Now, your mom is not going to like what's about to happen next. So I would say whatever the equivalent is of earmuffs for a visual, this I am giving you now a trigger warning. Okay, Harry?
Is this going to be the big jug of water? Is that what we're doing here? We're going off mic, off camera, coming back with a gigantic jug of water. That looks like a 3-gallon jug.
Just a gallon.
Is that just a
Now, what's in this, though, let me see if I still have it. No, it's upstairs. I'll bring it down next show. But what I have is this powder that my mom got when she was back traveling to France a lot. And
this is the vitamin C pouch.
Yeah. So you put like what do you call it? A tablespoon, right, of this stuff. I mean, look, this looks like, I was cooking.
That's like a gigantic salad spoon or something.
Well, it's a tablespoon, right? So you take a tablespoon of it, you put it in this jug, you mix it around a little bit, and next thing you know, you have this magic elixir. I'm telling you, no matter whatever it is, you drink 5 gulps in an hour for about 3 hours, and you're better. Like it just destroy. Now you have to space this out because you can't pound this thing, otherwise it's an insane amount of vitamin C in your body. And if you think what's coming out of me is bad, then it's 50 times worse.
Does it have the same effect as the stuff that I had to take pre-colonoscopy?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I had to take it twice.
Right, which is not, oh my God, twice. That's not fun, right?
Yeah, you space it out. It really wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Everybody made that sound so awful that I had all these preconceived notions. This is going to be the worst night ever. And it really wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, if you think it's not meant to like clean you out, it's meant to help whatever's in there.
Okay.
That's what it's meant to do. It's meant to heal you. Now the week 2 totals have been out. You see this? Eagles and Patriots are 37.
That's a little higher than what it was. Eagles game went over.
It did.
How many of the games did go over?
So not many, although Sunday's game was kind of interesting because the gate closed, I want to say, at 33.5. And I went under 33.5. And then at the half itself, the total moved to 40.5. So I went under 40.5, and it ended at 39 total points. So point being is that you had a nice window there for about 7. You had a full touchdown of a window to work with when it was all said and done in hindsight.
The Patriots-Washington game just went under. That was a nail biter. It was 35.
Right.
It fell on 35. I think it was 35.5 or 36. The Eagles game went over. We know that. That busted to 40. Titans, that's an under, 23-3. They beat Atlanta. Bills, Lions, 31 had to be an under. Cowboys, Cardinals could have been close, but probably under 19-16. That's 35.
Probably hovering, right?
Bears, Dolphins went under. That's 33.
Yep.
Broncos busted it almost by themselves. They destroyed Minnesota 33-6.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like the total finished at 39. I don't think they destroyed that total. They probably went over it by like a field goal.
Probably, but it was all Broncos.
Exactly.
I mean, if you were betting that game and you're saying Vikings are only going to score 6 points, you're like, this is a lock under.
Yep.
Right?
No, you're 100% right.
Browns, Jaguars, that's 36. That probably, I got to go check, but that's right on the number. Ravens, Saints went over. Or no, 31. That's an under.
Okay.
17-14. Jets beat the Giants 12-7. Bengals, Buccaneers. Yeah, 12-7. How about that?
And, all you want to see is this rookie.
I know.
What he can do. And it's like, really?
He was 6 for 9.
That's it? Yeah.
Zach Wilson, yeah. The Texans, boy, the Packers. I mean, Love played pretty good. 12 of 17, $122, and a touchdown. And they got beat 26-7 by the Texans.
That's not bad.
Chiefs, Niners was 35 points. Bengals, Buccaneers. They're all, right around that 33-35 number. Most of these games. Chargers, Rams. How about the fight in the Chargers-Rams game? I'm sure you saw video of that.
Stands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it started from somebody throwing a beer on somebody.
Yeah. There was a woman like 3 rows up.
Okay.
That threw a beer over like 15 people, and then the fight ensued from there.
Right.
I saw Dan Lust was commenting on this over the weekend, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
The one guy that had the Aaron Donald jersey on, he got handled. Man, there were 3 or 4 guys jumped on that guy and just started pounding him. He lost his jersey, and his face is all bloodied, and he was still walking up the aisle, looking back at everybody, just giving them business.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And then some other guy, some other big dude got into it. I think that guy punched one of the security personnel that came down.
Is that right?
I think so.
Really?
It took a while for them to get there,
That's
too.
what I mean.
Nobody had any interest in working that fight.
No. Uh-oh. Patriots call for offside. The Eagles defense starts jeering from the sideline. Quez Watkins and Matt Judson.
Judon.
Yeah, Judon. No,
Yeah.
it said Matt. It says Matt Judson, though.
Oh.
No, Judon is a different player.
Yeah, Judon's a good player. He's the guy they got from Baltimore, I believe.
So Watkins and Judson were chatting a bit after the play. Didn't look super friendly. Eagles coaching staff pulled Watkins back to the huddle. Well,
Quez Watkins, there's a little dog in him. 610. He's gonna be the guy this whole preseason.
Is it worth a jersey?
I think he changed his number, didn't he, from last year?
I don't know. I have no idea. Do you? Do you even know what number he wore last year?
I think he wore like a number in the 80s, didn't he, last year? Let me check. Because he's number 16.
Right.
But I'm seeing stuff here where he had a different number. Let me see what it is. 80. He was 80 last year.
80, and now he's changed. So
to 16.
What do you believe in more, the Watkins number change or the Ertz hair change?
The Watkins number change.
Okay. Interesting.
Guy's got speed.
Yeah, he does. And I think you're right, where this may just be circumstance where guys ahead of him on the chart are down, but you got to find a way to look at some way, right, to get him in there, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's got to be more than just like, special teams returning kicks, that kind of stuff. I mean, really, who's going to be able to do more damage to a defense, Greg Ward or Quez Watkins?
Watkins.
Right.
Especially look, I know he's got speed, but especially he's got height too. Don't we want to use that in the goal line? Like, don't we want to take advantage of his body, not just his legs?
Yeah, I mean, he's 6 foot. He's got long arms. And I heard a vaunted, Barrett's partner, Ray Didinger, over the weekend say that he had him as a 4th round grade, and he ended up lasting until the 6th round. That's what I'm saying. I'm stunned that he lasted that long with that kind of speed.
So I'm told, real quick before we break for the hour, I'm told by Ron Culver on the text line that we have a new intern in the house who is a gigantic Eagles fan. Is that accurate?
Yep.
From Philadelphia originally, or from the Houston area?
From Texas. He just he found the bird somehow, some way.
Now, this isn't the Rice Eagles, right?
No.
They're the Owls.
Owls, okay.
Yeah.
Not the Temple Owls. And maybe he got it.
He was sitting there. He was getting mad at both of you guys because he was screaming 80 at the YouTube and wondering why you guys didn't hear him.
Well, because his mic wasn't up, because Ron Culver only wants his own mic.
Exactly.
Ron's a very selfish individual when it comes to airtime.
What is he referring to Quez Watkins' number last year? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he knew it all along. He said 80, and you were still trying to figure out what's his number this season.
Why would anybody willingly subject themselves to so much punishment and frustration of being a Philadelphia Eagles fan? Like, we're stuck here. You can still get out.
I have no idea.
Well, are you going to introduce us to who this is, or is this just like
I'm moving the mic closer to him. I don't know if he's too shy to talk to y'all.
Well, just give us your name, buddy.
Hey, I'm Evan. How y'all doing?
Evan. Now,
what's going on?
You realize that this team's not going to be good this year.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm really hoping we get 3 first-round picks and, build for the future.
See?
Yeah, it sounds like a fan to me of the team, not somebody like Ron Culver slipping him over. Hey, just make sound like you're an Eagles fan or something. Like, I could see Culver doing that, but Evan, you sound legit. So hopefully,
I'm definitely a realistic Eagles fan. I'm not one of these Cowboys fans screaming we're going to the Super Bowl every year when I know we're definitely coming close.
Right.
That's a big difference.
Well, I want to know if Evan's going to go to the Texans-Colts game and heckle Carson Wentz.
Like a real Eagles fan.
Nah, unfortunately, my financial situation will not allow that.
Well, get a media credential and get down there.
Yeah, can we get you that?
Had to take over here in Houston when Nick Foles broke his collarbone.
All right, we're going to get you a media pass. How about that?
Hey, gladly will take it.
All right, sounds good. We got a break. We'll be back in 3. That's Evan in the house. He's our spy down in Houston.
Okay.
He's an Eagles fan who's working for us just to make sure that Ron Culver really is around and awake and God knows what else. Right?
That's an Anthony angle.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a spy. All right, we're back at 3. It's the middle.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Welcome to the Wildwoods, the perfect place where you can safely do everything or nothing at all. Catch a wave, take a nap, go for a drive, grab a bite. It's your vacation, and we're doing everything we can to make it a safe one. The Wildwoods. Your vacation, your way.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
This is a key. It's a family tree. It's a pair of wings. It's a secret handshake. And a ticket to anywhere in the world. It's more than a uniform. It's the door to a world most people only dream of. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Try it on at GoArmy.com.
Now,
we got our group
The Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett,
who we're playing with.
and Harry Mays.
Now, do you have it? Do you want to let everybody know what our group is?
Our group for the outing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, the golf outing. It's going to be you and me and this guy, Kevin McKeon. I was told you would know who that is.
Okay.
He works for the radio station.
Okay.
And then we're going to play with some member of the Philadelphia Union soccer team.
Good. Okay. Awesome.
So that should be good.
That should be fantastic.
Yeah. I just hope the weather holds out. Man, a week ago, it looked perfect for this day. And as you get closer, it kept on going up and up. Percentage of rain. Yeah, 60% chance of rain now tomorrow.
Now, what's the schedule like? When do we know that it's going to be impossible to play? Because are we then going to come back and do the show if that's the case?
They're going to hold out. When I was in another one earlier this year, where they had a 2-hour delay to the start. So we actually, everybody just sat there and drank for 2 hours.
Oh.
And then finally went out 2 hours late, only to be called back in after 6 or 7 holes.
My goodness. That's something right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let everybody know how it goes tomorrow. Barrett's out too, so we'll all be back. The two of us will be back on Wednesday. The three of us will be
Right.
back for game day.
How is the world going to deal without the middle for a Tuesday?
They're going to demand that you put up video of the course.
Is that right?
What's happening out there? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's what it's going to be.
Mm.
All right. We appreciate everybody rolling. Thanks to Ron Culver. We're back. No OT today. We got a jet. If Barrett were here, maybe.